US dollar billions laser aircraft carrier is ready to beat China. In November 2013, the Gerald R. Ford was floated from dry dock into Virginia's James River to start its trials. It is now being built in Virginia at Newport News Shipbuilding, and it will be put into service in 2020. The US Ford, a $13 billion vessel. The biggest carrier in the world, is tremendous, the most powerful and pricey. But 100,000-ton carrier is an aircraft carrier, possesses more air force than the entire. A minimum of 60 nations' air forces can compete, without recharging for 25 years, and is protected by a never-ending supply of fuel, built-in fortifications and a fleet of ships, 1 in 10 cruisers, destroyers, and frigates, and maybe a submarine or 2 as well. China might obliterate it with one blow. This is the degree to which the hypersonic missiles made in China, and naturally, it's an issue for the one that the US Navy cannot ignore, especially given that China isn't concealing, considering that its hypersonic weaponry deliberately intended to resist Americans. One of the nation's armaments is ships testing facilities hidden in the full-size mock-ups of the Taklamakan Desert exist. It makes use of American aircraft carriers as target training to protect its fleet against potential assaults by these Chinese hypersonic aircraft. The US Navy has resorted to missiles, powerful lasers outfitted with hundreds of investment funds worth millions of dollars to guarantee that American laser weaponry is unbeatable. As the level of hostility between the two nations, China is attempting to establish itself as the significant adversary of the United States. Both its military and economy are increasing exponentially, so a conflict between the two countries could arise. Despite sending shockwaves across the globe, this potential wide-ranging effect of a US-China's war is not that far away. Unrealistic tensions plague the connection between the two world powers, in particular, because China's unwavering desire to annex Taiwan into both its and the US territories. Persistent desire to protect Taiwan. President of the United States, Joe Biden, went so far as to sign up to 10 defense spending bills are included. Taiwan will receive billions in aid. Taiwan is not the only claim made by China, but control over practically the whole South. China's sea is thousands of miles long, but from its shores. The United States enforced international law acknowledges only 12 territorial claims. These are nautical miles offshore. Geographical boundaries still dominate, disputed to the extent that it seems China is only prevented from taking a more forceful attack on foreign movements. Chinese capability with hypersonic missiles, the Xingkong-2 and the DF-17, are the two major hypersonic missiles of China. On October 1, 2019, additionally, to its devoted warhead and a hypersonic glide vehicle together, DF and these two produce a DF-17 deadly team. China has conducted 7 flight tests. A 100% success rate has shown a correctness of a high level. US government. The official confirmed this and said that a warhead from test DF-17 once struck inside the DF is within meters of its intended target. The utilization of a hypersonic glide vehicle, both the delivery of nuclear bombs and precise conventional strike missions, and it can perform while in flight evasive maneuvers and extreme maneuvers. Although not its in-flight maneuverability, what makes this weapon effective is its blurring speed. It's something to be concerned about. It distinguishes a hypersonic. The missile was launched by a missile moving at maneuverability at hypersonic speeds. This makes guns much more powerful, difficult for even the most skilled spies to do. Modern air defense systems are everywhere, and world ICBMs fly at hypersonic speeds. May reach speeds of Mach 23, but they aren't regarded as hypersonic missiles since they are immobile. Instead, they follow a routine route. A parabolic path that facilitates their route be stopped and defended against intercepted. While Russia too has hypersonic technology, China's arsenal of missiles concerns the U.S. largest DF-17 used by the Navy is a 36-foot-large, flyer-capable weapon weighing 33,000 pounds, as high as 197,000 feet at Mach 5 plus velocities to surpass targets 1,600 miles away from their second, lesser-known. The Xingkong-2 hypersonic missile features a flight ceiling of the top 98,000 feet, surpassing Mach 6 and reaching a maximum 6,200-mile operational range. The Skystar 2 is another name for Xingkong-2, flies like the DF-ZF, that it is linked to an expanding rocket that fires a maneuverable warhead with a later release. The Xingkong-2 reaches speeds of Mach 5 plus, nevertheless has the extra benefit of a wave rider as any person who rides waves. A flying machine that absorbs shock waves, increase lift and reduce drag range, and enhance general performance. The aircraft's initial flight test on August 2018's the third day, the Xingkong-2 would show these improvements and more. Something was added to it after it had been launched from a target area and the missile was independently in northwest China. reached its flight ceiling while flying, reached and maneuvered at hypersonic speeds in less than 10 minutes its target. The experiment was a total success, and that was a real-life conflict. There was the target, the U.S. Gerald Ford. There would be no way to stop this missile. The supercarrier would swim beside the sharks quickly. Because of this, the U.S. Gerald Ford must wield laser defense upgrade systems and develop into what we'll call as the U.S. Gerald Ford laser. Regardless of how quickly the current missiles, the U.S. Navy is or will be in the future, assuming that its lasers would burn them. A miracle. And this isn't. Lasers are a type of light and move at 186,000 miles per second. In the universe, anything can move. Using lasers has the advantage of an aircraft as long as there is a magazine, no restrictions coupled with a forward and a power source, driven by the strongest engines available. A 1B ever mounted on a ship reactors that may power the Ford without recharging for 25 years. Weapons will have more power available to them. Then they might be required to top it off. Lasers have an improbably low cost. Comparison of the price of fire and air defensive missiles are the next best thing. Every laser shot costs $1 to $10. This economic cost of missiles is a significant benefit for the U.S. Navy, particularly when up against an economically comparable foe. As similar China gains indicated that it was time to create a powerful laser weapon be installed on the U.S. Ford vessel, which able to destroy hypersonic, sky-based missiles aimed towards the United States. This meant that the Navy created several one after the other lasers, enhancing each other's power ratings. Throughout 2014, the first of these weapons were complete and prepared for destruction. It was a 33 kilowatt SKK-3 during sea trials. Another name for a laser weapon system is LAWs. Twice, LAWs were put to the test on amphibious transport ships' deck. The outcomes for U.S. ponds were positive. This resulted in additional research. A second known stronger laser weapon, as the combined high-energy laser dazzler and surveillance system using optics or just Helios. The cost of Helios is $105 million. Designed a kilowatt laser weapon. Lockheed Martin. It was the first weapon with a permanent laser on a destroyer and can connect with advanced Aegis radar in the ship's deck. Despite being a weapons control system, Helios is expandable to a 150 kilowatt rating, would not be adequate to remove hypersonic missiles that not enough to even take down. Supersonic missiles were found to exist. It is sailing at supersonic speeds to launch a missile, at least a 300 kilowatt laser, similar to the powerful Hellcat or the laser counter ASCM software, with the Hellcat being woefully inadequate. Now the Pentagon wants to create a more than 3 times as strong a weapon, an effective 1 megawatt laser weapon. Complete the task of rebuttal supersonic weapons that are intended for must endure temperatures of at least 1,000 degrees. Hypersonic temperatures are intrinsic. A 1 megawatt laser weapon and flying is also not too far away from the Navy. A contract has already been granted to Northrop to create such a weapon. Grumman. In July 2022, the business finished initial concepts for high-energy multiple laser beams combined in one laser into a single strong ray of 1 megawatt. This tool might make all the difference. The U.S. Ford and other American ships carriers getting incredibly exposed billions of dollars worth of garbage, or remains the most powerful and unbreakable. How? With the U.S. Navy's mega ships, how big of an effect does a laser weapon have? Be in this ongoing conflict between silence. It provides the U.S. Navy to both the U.S. and China, capable of destroying China, quickest and most sophisticated missiles in a moment's notice. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.